Dawgs Podcast, WATP.
This is from just this morning.
Oh, no.
He was on there, and he read an article in Inc. magazine. Now, Inc. magazine is not a tattoo magazine. It's a business magazine, and incorporated. And so he's going to read this article to us.
I am chuckling because of what we're about ready to talk about. I'm looking at this thing that just popped up on my computer, and it's from Inc.com. One of the things says, hoping for failure. Successful people naturally want their colleagues to succeed. Nope. I found this from Inc.com. Bad behaviors of unsuccessful people. Now, just like the last thing we did where the Savior said something about the food that was keeping me...
The Savior. It was savory. Sorry, before this. Actually, 2 segments in a row was talking about the savory.com listed foods that help you fall asleep. And I almost pulled these clips, but this is way more interesting. So this guy, one of them was like walnuts and almonds. And Stupid Scorch goes, I eat nothing but walnuts and almonds, and I don't sleep well. I'm like, well, yeah, it doesn't work if you're... it was like part of your regular diet, obviously. So
because those are the most boring nuts.
Right. So then he calls it the Savior, just like how we were talking about the Savior.
Now, just like the last thing we did where the Savior said something about the food that was keeping me awake, even though it's not, food that would put me to sleep, even though it's keeping me awake. I consider myself, and I asked T-Ry, so it's not me being an arrogant prick. I asked T-Ry before we even went into this. I'm relatively successful, right? I've done some pretty successful things. You should agree. So I said, so this will fit. Bad behaviors of unsuccessful people. I do almost all of them.
Okay. So this is a great setup to this segment, because he's going, this is what Inc. magazine says that unsuccessful people do, but it's all the stuff that I do, and I am killing it. Scorch. You've been in radio for decades. You're the 200th market. We've been reviewing all these shows for Jocktober this month. They're all syndicated. The last one we did, Bob and Sherry's in 70 markets. It's the worst show anyone's ever heard. It's not hard to be in morning radio these days. Anyone can fucking do it. Not Scorch. He has no idea. He's
got the bagel shop coming.
I was just going to say.
He can't even afford a loan to buy a bagel shop that already exists, that the landlord doesn't even want.
But I'm pretty successful.
But he's killing it. So what I thought was fun about this, I got a few clips on here. He's going to go through all the different behaviors that unsuccessful people have. And I just want to bring it back to our buddy Stuttering John, who I consider to be pretty unsuccessful at this point. And let's see if he has any of these similar behaviors that they list here in Inc. magazine.
Blaming things on certain people. Sorry.
You don't. Well, okay.
Making assumptions.
Sorry.
Okay. So right out of the gate, blaming things on other people, that's all John does all day. Mm-hmm. He never owns anything about what's going on in his life. It's everyone else's fault. And then making assumptions. Assumptions like, I'd be upset if you rented my house in Florida and paid me $6,000 for a month to rent it. And actually, John, if you could rent it in the off-season, that'd be great, too. I'd appreciate that. I'll even give you a discount on it, if you don't mind. All right. So far, we're 2 for 2.
Talking instead of listening. But I do my share of listening too, but yes.
Share. Small.
This one I don't necessarily do. Avoiding risk. I'll take a risk if it's warranted, Then
it's not a risk. That's the opposite of what a risk is. I'll do a risk if it makes sense. Well, that's not.
It's a safe risk.
Yeah, I'll only take safe risks, when they're warranted. That's the opposite of that, Scorch. So, again, I think John talking instead of listening, we've seen that quite a bit, where he just yells at people who aren't even there. Well, if they are there, he'll yell over them, refuses to listen.
Or call them live on his show and not let him know he's calling them live on his show.
I saw that segment too, Cardiff, where John goes, oh, you got to hear these conversations I have with Cardiff. He's such a different guy, blah, blah, blah. So then he just calls you live on the show, and you're like, hey, John. You literally answer, you go, hey, John. I can tell you're dreading whatever this conversation's going to be.
Driving.
And then he's like, you're on the air. You're like, why? What are you doing? So funny.
Again.
All right, let's find out more behaviors of unsuccessful people. If you're just joining us, we're checking out Inc.com listed the bad behaviors of unsuccessful people.
Bad behaviors of unsuccessful people. Quitting.
Quitter.
Yep, John's done that one for sure.
Not according to him.
Multiple times, actually, just this year.
Yeah.
Multiple times this year.
This week
month.
even, yeah.
I have no recollection.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. All right, let's see what else we got.
This one here.
Carl,
Guilty.
Yes, sir.
sorry, can I remind you of something?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's the wrong drop. Shit. Never mind. I thought I recorded the drop.
I was stoked.
Okay. You were recording the drops we were doing in real time?
I thought I did.
All right.
This one here. Guilty with a capital G. And
Says the judge.
envying.
Yeah.
I definitely envy. But now I'm going to ask T-Ry. In here, in these four walls, is it envy or is it more like, I don't understand why they and we don't? Is it more like that?
That would be putting blame and envy all in the same category.
Oh, look at me go. Huh? I could have cut this down by 7 minutes.
He's multitasking.
Is it envy when you wish that person didn't have the thing that you want? Yes.
Yeah.
That's specifically what it is. Very good. Scorch, you got that one right. And again, John, to a T. He is so envious of everyone else making money off of him, and he can't make any money off of himself.
Envy might be his only motivator.
Yes.
Envy gets him out of bed.
Correct. Yes. So, again, traits of unsuccessful people is what we're talking about. This one coming out of Scorch is rich.
Wasting time. No. That's something none of us do here. Well, some of us maybe.
I try.
Not us.
That's your entire job. You're doing it right now. Scorch, you're wasting time right now.
And
you're
ours.
reading a list from the internet you found. This is a time waster by definition. So, and John might waste a little bit of time too. I love when he says he's too busy to do stuff, but he gets to the pub by 3 every day. It's like, well, that's going to be a time killer for you, John. Just FYI. All right, let's see what else.
Here's the one that caught me by surprise.
Oh, here we go.
Hoping for failure for your coworkers.
Little voodoo dolls all over the place.
Poke him! I'm gonna poke him and he's not gonna be able to go. I'm gonna poke him.
That is so Stuttering John. If you can go back and watch Stuttering John on the Howard Stern Show when he still worked there, trying to sabotage his coworkers. But even after he wasn't there anymore and he was trying to get J.D. Harmeyer fired,
Yeah.
well, J.D.'s never done anything to him, but he's just hopes for failure for everyone else.
That's everyone in radio.
A
We
lot
just
of people.
covered in October.
Yep.
That happened all the time.
Yes.
Instead of doing a good show and succeeding, you hope that everybody else fails and makes you look better.
Well, that's the people who suck, which is why they're in Shocktober.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why they have this mentality. It's not a good way to go through life. All right, here's the last one. And again, all of these are perfect for Stuttering John. I hope he's listening right now.
Focusing on the wrong things when you don't have the right things to focus on.
Wait a minute. Now that would be blame again. There we go. I'm just going to sit here, kick back, and watch you. Wow.
Bad behaviors of unsuccessful people
Imagine
or
that,
me.
folks.
9290X. Hey, coming up, we're going to be speaking with Jack Osborne.
Oh, Jack Osborne! Yeah, I can't wait. Focusing on the wrong things. I can't think of something that John does more than that. He just spent 30 minutes looking at old photos of me with the company I used to be a partner at and goofing on me. You're focused on the wrong things, John.
Yeah, he could have easily been making fun of the isotopes that whole time.
Yes!
There's
Something
a
that I'm doing
million
now.
more pictures
Right,
of
something
that.
I'm currently doing that I'm actively pursuing right now would make a lot more sense than doing that.
Who are these podcasts?